Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly horoscope. Now, if you're thinking, Greg, what's with the mustache? You couldn't be bothered to shave. I'm trying to grow a beard. I mentioned this in the full moon in Sagittarius video yesterday. I'm gonna give it 4 weeks. That's why I look so scruffy, so please bear with me. If it looks terrible at the end, I'll shave it off, but I've never tried this and it came to me, so I'm gonna try it out, see how it goes. Wish me luck. This is your weekly horoscope for Monday the 17th of June until Sunday the 23rd of June 2019, and these horoscopes are for all signs of the zodiac. They're for everyone who watches, and what I do is I break the week down into the days. So I give you a day-by-day rundown of what's happening up in the sky, as above, so below. So the energy that the planets form and create between themselves is what we work with down here on planet Earth. The timings are based on UK time, which is British summer time, and I've had a look at this week. The key words are letting go. It's really important to let go because the energy swings wildly as each day progresses, and if you're not willing to let go, if you're hanging on to things, you're going to get seasick. So it's really important to be flexible and to go with the flow. Another key word is self-care and not censoring yourself. So it's a really fabulous week, another fabulous week of you becoming the richest, most abundant and beautiful version of yourself that you can be. And you may think, oh, God, that sounds rather self-indulgent, but the thing is, we don't usually take care of ourselves. Most of us, I go into this later on in one of the days, but a lot of us are living in survival mode every day, and not many people give themselves the luxury to kind of take care of themselves and to bring out the best in themselves, or to ask themselves even, what are my hopes and dreams, and could I possibly realize that? A lot of people are just like, oh, what if I can't pay the water bill this month and they're going to shut it off? So, Monday the 17th of June, we've got the full moon in Sagittarius at 9:30 in the morning, and that's UK time. Check out the separate video. I go into a lot of detail about the full moon in Sagittarius, and please excuse me, it turned out to be a bit long because it's a really full-on energy and it's really intense. So it's 48 minutes long, so you have to kind of make a bit of a commitment to put up with me for 50 minutes to watch that. But it will give you the gist of what this is about. It's really positive. Sagittarius is the centaur, so you're being showered with loads of Sagittarius energy because the full moon is when the moon lets go and it just showers us. And Sagittarius is about galloping forward and exploring new things and learning and going on fabulous adventures. It's ruled by Jupiter, the lucky planet, so by going on adventures, you have good luck. You discover wonderful new things. Also, the moon moves into Capricorn later on in the day at 14 minutes past 4. And Capricorn is an earth sign. It's much more serious. It's about let's work in the here and now. And the Capricorn moon then trines the chaos planet Uranus, which is in an earth sign Taurus. And it squares, so it creates friction between Chiron, the wounded healer, which is in Aries. And this is a recipe for you being able to listen to yourself and to naturally discover what motivates you and what gives you a sense of ease, but also a sense of excitement and being fired up. So with the shift into Capricorn later on in the day, you're able to take your discoveries that you've gathered during this full moon period, and you'll be able to implement them in your life, especially in practical areas. You're healed by the full moon in Sagittarius energy, and you have the strength to stand out from the crowd alone and without fear. Now, the build up to the full moon in Sagittarius is important. So the 15th of June, the 16th of June, the 17th of June when it actually happens. But also it kind of winds down. You know, the moon is still really full the day after and the next day. It wanes kind of slowly. So expect this full moon in Sagittarius to extend to the 18th of June, the 19th of June a little bit. And to really feel I'm able to make my life bigger and grander and more enjoyable for myself, and use that energy to bless yourself, to use it as a gift to shape your life into the life that you want it to be. I just did the daily tarot reading for Monday the 17th of June, and the tarot, being the clever divination system it is, says, yes, you'll have great energy, but don't forget to use your brains, otherwise you're going to fall on your face. Everything is good, you feel wonderful and amazing, but, you know, cool your heels a little bit. Don't throw common sense out the window, because you'll mess up if you do. So check out the video on the full moon. It does give you more info. And check out the daily tarot reading if you really want an all-round understanding of how this week is gonna start. But it really is very, very positive, and people who are shy, people who really struggle to assert themselves, this is your time, 15th of June to 19th of June, I would say, to naturally feel more assertive and confident, and to say, this is me and this is what I think. And I don't need your approval. And I have a right to speak too. On Tuesday, the 18th of June, Mercury, the communication planet, is in Cancer, so it's very much about wearing your heart on your sleeve. And it conjuncts, so it blends its energy with Mars, the planet of ambition and drive and I want things. And that's in Cancer too. So that's really amazing. Mars despises being in Cancer. Mars is the ruler of Aries, which is about let's power through and let's be independent and let's go. In Cancer, it's forced to nurture itself and to take care of other people. Can you imagine a soldier, like a really tough, butch captain of a marine brigade or whatever they're called, suddenly saying to himself, I love you. I love you so much. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for giving me the strength to be a leader of men. I love you. I mean, it just doesn't fit with Mars, does it? Mars is like, let's go. So Mars is forced to take care of itself and other people, which is nice. And Mercury, you think along the lines of other people, you're considerate, you're also very intuitive, and you listen to your own feelings. The moon is in Capricorn, which says be practical and work. It conjuncts Saturn in Capricorn, which says if you work hard enough, you'll be able to create stability and structures in your life. And it sextiles Neptune in Pisces. So work hard enough, you'll have structures. And if you work even harder, you'll be able to make your hopes and dreams come true. In reality, on Tuesday, the 18th of June, what will happen is that the dream man or woman may appear. Or something that you absolutely love and adore. Like, oh my God, I went kayaking. It's the most exhilarating experience ever. I'm gonna keep doing this. So, cool your heels a little bit. Don't immediately plan the wedding. If you're in a relationship, you may feel somewhat controlling, even if that is not in your nature. So let go with love. Let go with love. That's from, I think, that's from Al-Anon, and they say detach with love. Detach with love. So love that person, but hands off. Don't control. And if you're not a jealous type, and if you're someone who, gives people the freedom to live the way they want, I never had any problems with that, jealousy or being controlling, anything like that. But even on days like this, people who don't have that as an issue might find that becomes an issue. If you are someone who's naturally very jealous and controlling, really watch out and really just be hands off on Tuesday, because the astrology is going to push you in that direction of saying, what's he doing? Where is he? What, you know. Wednesday, the 19th of June, we have Mercury in Cancer, so we're still thinking in terms of our feelings, and that's not always right, is it? If you feel bad about yourself and you're a gorgeous human being, then that low self-esteem is totally inappropriate. So you can't always trust your feelings. Check in with your higher self, check in with the universe to make sure that what you're feeling is actually accurate. It's funny, I put on Instagram, by the way, follow me on Instagram, guys. I put loads of pictures on there every day, and on Twitter as well. Twitter, it's Talk to Gregory, and Instagram, it's Gregory Scott 444. And I put up a quote, and it said, check yourself, or I should have checked myself, from the guy who wrecked himself. And it's, look at what you're doing and look at what you're feeling and look at what's really going on. You have an opportunity to kind of be aware and to hold up a mirror towards you and to say, okay, the 8 pints a day may be a little bit of a problem. So that's the checking yourself before you turn up to the job drunk in the morning and your line manager says, hey, I can smell a lot of booze. We don't want you to drink at work and you're going to get into trouble. So that's the kind of thing that Mercury in Cancer allows you to do. It opposes Pluto in Capricorn. So it doesn't want anything to do with change. And that's why you need to do it. Because when you don't want to change, especially, that's the time when usually it's time to change. It's like when you really don't want to eat spinach, it's usually when you need some iron. Okay, you know what I mean. It's that thing of, I don't want to do the right thing for myself. I want to rebel and I just want to go flying away and I want to live my dreams. I don't want to be responsible and do the work and I just want to live and be free. I think we can all relate to that. So the Capricorn moon opposes Mars in Cancer. So again, I want to work. I don't want to listen to my feelings very much. And I don't want to make big changes. I just want to get on with it. Mercury is in Cancer too. So feelings. That conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn. So if you listen to your feelings, that's going to urge you. Hang on. No, Mars in Cancer opposes the moon in Capricorn, excuse me. Mercury in Cancer opposes Pluto in Capricorn. Doesn't conjunct it, so scratch that, okay? So opposing is 180 degrees away. A conjunction is sitting right on top of. And Mercury in Cancer is 180 degrees away from Pluto in Capricorn, so it's nowhere near it. So on Wednesday, there is a big shift. Feelings are out. Practicality and work are in. Be patient with others. You'll be inspired to listen to your feelings and to make glorious changes in your own life. But it feels contradictory because your feelings will say, no, I don't want to make changes. But if I go against my feelings, then I will actually be able to achieve something great. So do you see what I'm trying to explain? I'm trying to explain, that on Wednesday the 19th, you have to hold up a mirror to your feelings because they're not trustworthy. They're going to trick you. The things that you really don't want to do are the things that are going to lead to the best outcomes. And the things that you really do want to do are probably not a good idea. And this presents a problem to people who are very intuitive, very emotional, because it's like, well, I live my life by being guided through my feelings. I don't think my way through my life, I feel my way through my life. But on this day, the feelings are tricky, that's what I'm saying, and you have to kind of use your thoughts to examine your feelings and use the Byron Katie, the work question. Is it true? So, I am worthless because I look horrible. Is it true? Look at a picture of yourself, you see that you're not horrible looking at all. So it's your feelings tricking you, trying to drag you down. I feel like I don't want to go to the boss's office. Oh, see? Scary. I feel like I don't want to go to the boss's office and ask for a promotion. When you do and you act against your feelings, because if you think about it logically, you deserve a promotion. You deserved it 6 months ago. Even though you don't want to and you're scared to assert yourself like that, you go to the boss and you ask for that promotion, you'll get it. So today is upside down day. Today is opposite day. Like, you know, in Seinfeld, when George did everything opposite to what he would usually do, and suddenly his life turned around and was wonderful. So Wednesday is opposite day. If it feels like, no, I shouldn't do it, think about it, check it, examine it with your ideas, and if it's appropriate, do the opposite, because that's what's going to serve you. That's not easy. That's why I said at the beginning, really, it's important to let go this week, because if you hang on to things like that, you will get seasick through these changes of feeling and making practical changes, and should I, shouldn't I, it's all over the place. On Thursday, the 20th of June, we have another total 180 from the day before. The moon moves into Aquarius at 2 minutes past 2 in the morning. The Aquarius moon is very humanitarian. It squares the unexpected and eccentric planet Uranus, which is in the practical sign of Taurus, and it sextiles Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. So it makes friends with the wounded healer, and it's not on good terms with Uranus in a practical sense. So, the energy really yo-yos around here again today, because you're into healing yourself now and others by sharing positive information and teachings. So that is totally opposite from the day before, where you were practicing opposite behavior and doing what felt wrong, because now you have to trust your feelings again, to heal yourself and to allow emotional healing, and sharing your feelings and the information with other people. And it may be that you learn something about yourself on Wednesday the 19th by behaving differently, that you discover something that you would have never done before, and it results in something really positive, and you now have something to teach another person. So that's a big shift in energy. It's like when one day it's really cold and it's almost like freezing, and then this front comes in and it's really, really hot, and it's like in the 30s Celsius and or in the 80s, 90s Fahrenheit, and it's just like it on your physical system. That puts a lot of pressure on your system to adjust to the change of temperature, and it can really wear you out. So emotionally, this week can wear you out in the sense that things are all over the place and they do yo-yo back and forth. So let go and just go with the flow. Friday the 21st of June, we have the summer solstice taking place. That's the longest day in the northern hemisphere. Neptune, the water planet of dreams and intuition, goes retrograde for the next 4 months, which means that your hopes and dreams aren't out there in the world anymore. They come from within, and you're able to access them much more easily. Have a look at your monthly horoscope for your specific sun sign and for your rising sign to see what house Neptune retrogrades in and where the sun is, because it's incredibly powerful on this day. So if it's in your first house of self, then the power and the hopes and dreams come from your inner self. If it's in the second house of money, then you have a great ability to realize your hopes and dreams when it comes to creating wealth and abundance for yourself. If it's in the fifth house of romance and children, then you'll really understand and get clarity on whether you want children or not. And you'll be able to realize your hopes and dreams when it comes to that area of your life. Because you have a lot of power to follow through on your hopes and dreams. The sun moves into Cancer at 3:55 in the afternoon. So Friday the 21st of June is a day where you're massively focused on yourself and you're able to look inside of yourself, to look at your desires, your hopes and dreams, and because you have that vision, you're actually able to realize them with the energy that the sun provides you. So that sounds trite, and that's what I was talking about earlier. It sounds like, oh yeah, I love myself and I'm going to make my hopes and dreams come true. It's really not that trite and new agey and woo-woo. We usually do not take care of ourselves very well. A lot of us exist in survival mode on a daily basis, and that puts incredible pressure on our bodies. So you have the opportunity to look within, to identify what you are, who you are, to reconnect with your real self, to plan ahead. Good luck, and your dreams come from inside of you now for the next 4 months, and you're able to create the future that you want. So that is a process that no one can do for you. That's a very personal process. And if you're just like, ugh, self-care, who cares? Like, I'm tough, I can get on with it, I'll just do what I'm meant to do, then you're being too practical and you're being dismissive of the ethereal, spiritual, emotional side of things, which is really going to guide you. And that's what makes this week so complicated, because on Wednesday you weren't able to trust your feelings and you had to think about them. So that's what the universe does sometimes. It sets us up to miss opportunities because it tricks us. So from Friday onwards, for the next 4 months, looking and listening to your feelings is really going to be the epitome of making your dreams and hopes and desires a reality. It sets you up to not go in that direction. The ego tries to derail you from listening to your inner guidance by screwing things up for you on Wednesday and saying, see, on Wednesday I listened to my intuition and I fell on my face. So to hell with the intuition, I'm only going to go with facts and figures from now on. And then Friday comes along and you're still like, well, you know, I feel connected, but the intuition isn't something that's reliable. So I'm just going to go with what I can feel and touch and see in the here and now. So make sure that you practice the opposite on Wednesday, so that you outsmart the ego, which is trying to trick you into not trusting yourself, and embrace Friday and your own feelings and your intuition, and have faith that it will carry you and guide you in the right direction. It's not an easy week. That's why I said please be flexible, otherwise you'll get seasick. Saturday the 20th, it's not an easy week, but it's fun, it's exciting. You're certainly not going to be bored, and there's so much possibility to assert yourself, to put yourself out there, to really speak your mind, to speak your truth, and to get in touch with yourself. So it's not a bad week, it's just not the easiest, and you have to kind of be on your toes a little bit and pay attention and go with the flow and not be stuck in your own ways and let the energy guide you. On Saturday the 22nd of June, we have the moon going into Pisces at 3 minutes past 2 in the afternoon. And the Pisces moon is very intuitive and spiritual and self-sacrificing. So that helps you with the energy of Neptune going retrograde, because you're totally attuned with the unmanifest. And you find it easy now to kind of listen to your feelings and to listen to the higher realms, or if something comes within your personal space, your aura, you'll be able to feel that other person's energy, and you can trust that. The Pisces moon trines the sun in Cancer, another water sign. So the sun is your identity, your solar plexus. That's in Cancer. It wants to take care of you, and it connects with the moon in Pisces. So all the feelings are directed at you so that you can thrive and you can heal. And it sextiles Uranus in Taurus. So taking that emotional healing and making it a real thing. Saturday is a fabulous day to have a reading, as the veil between this world and the next is very, very thin. Intuitives, psychics, mediums watching this, fill your schedule on Saturday the 22nd, because you're going to be on fire today. The answers are just going to flow in. It's also a great day for creative types to really let loose and to create things without any self-censorship. You're going to really be in touch with who you are. Embracing your feelings has now caused you to say, wow, I've held something back for so long I didn't even realize, and because I did the opposite on Wednesday, I learned something really valuable about how I behave in terms of holding back and censoring myself, that I've now broken down that wall and I'm able to really create and do things that I would have never dared do before. On Sunday the 23rd, Venus plays a big part in the day. So Venus comes in now. She's in Gemini. Venus is Aphrodite, the goddess of love. And Gemini is an air sign. It's about being inquisitive and learning and exploring. It's similar to Sagittarius, but it explores in a communicative, intellectual level. It likes to gather information and to find things out. So it doesn't need to move anywhere to discover things. It's mental exploration. That opposes Jupiter in Sagittarius, which is interesting because the lucky planet is in the sign of the Centaur. To have good luck, I need to gallop forward. But Venus, the planet of love, is going to stay put, and she's going to say, you know what, to feel loving and to feel good, I don't need to go anywhere. I can just be here and exist and stay calm. I don't need to run off and find something. Love is going to find me, which is better than having to go chase after things. Because usually when you chase after things, they run away from you. If you just wait for good things to appear and you know that you're amazing and lovable, then things come your way. Venus is in Gemini, like I said, and it quincunxes Saturn in Capricorn. So structure and feeling anchored and secure in your own worth, your value, which is what this whole week has been about. Really trusting yourself, not trusting yourself, embracing who you are, discovering that you can do things differently, and now you have a more secure foundation within yourself. The Saturn in Capricorn squares the moon in Pisces, so feelings and reality are at odds with one another. The Pisces moon conjuncts Neptune, so feelings are everything, and the reality of things is doesn't matter. What I feel and what I love is the most important thing on Sunday. So Sunday the 23rd is another day where the perfect woman or man can come into your life, or the opportunity to fall in love with something new can occur for you. So a painting, a country, an activity. You know, you can go, I mean, you always hear these stories. He came for a visit in Thailand, and he opened a bar and he never left, and he's been living here for 30 years now. You hear stories like that all the time. People just go on holiday, they fall in love with the place, they stay, and they start a whole new life. So this reminds me of Monday, the full moon in Sagittarius, which is exactly that kind of energy. And the reading I did via the tarot, which says use your common sense, and Wednesday, which says don't listen to your feelings without checking them. So I would suggest that in terms of uprooting your life and throwing everything up in the air, you avoid that, and rather than destroying or leaving everything behind, I would suggest you stay put and you see what comes into your life. You are in explorer mode. You want to find what makes you happy. And what happens, or what I think will happen, is that rather than going on these journeys to find what's amazing and glorious and fulfills you, you stay put and you do what you would usually do on a Sunday, and something or someone that you love comes into your life, and initially they don't seem very attractive to you. So kayaking, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to get into this little dinghy thing and get wet possibly. Doesn't sound very fun. But then once you're doing it, you're like, wow, what a rush. Or a person comes in, and you know, it's like, for instance, you're having a dinner and someone brings in a guest, and this is the type of dinner guest who really annoys you. They chew really loudly or something, and it's like, oh, gross. But you feel strangely attracted to them, and there's something there. So it's another weird roundabout way of something that you love, or someone that you love, coming in, but not appearing as the ideal to begin with. So it's not like Prince Charming riding in on a white horse and immediately looking like, wow, there's my dream realized in reality. It's a little bit more practical and grounded than that. It's like, okay, we're having dinner here. Someone's brought along this guy. He's okay looking, really chews loudly, super annoying, but really funny at dinner. There's something to him. You kind of chat when you're doing the washing up afterwards, and you feel terribly drawn to that person, weirdly enough, and it turns into something amazing, and you have a conversation and sparks fly and there's loads of chemistry, and something that initially seemed off-putting becomes amazing and fulfilling. So I hope I've given you a rundown of the week in a way that's understandable, and I haven't tripped over my words too much, because it is a complicated week, especially with that Wednesday. So I just wanted to make sure I explain that in a way that makes sense. because it's tricky for intuitive types, like I said. So I hope you have a wonderful week. If you have any questions or you'd like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. Click on the readings tab to audio reading. In my personal readings, I use astrology, tarot, and numerology. The astrology chart I draw up by using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, order a chart rectification with me, please. It's a process where I take 10 or more life events, major life events, and I can work out the exact time of birth for you. So that's great. Once I have that, I have a snapshot of the sky at the moment you were born, and I can read that chart and I can read you. It's really a blueprint of who you are. It's amazing that I have access to this information. So astrology is the king of the divination systems, and it shows me what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, what you're going to be good at when it comes to work, and what's destined for you in love and finance and health and travel and moving and relationships, and also where you have free will and where you can make changes to those areas in your life, what your biggest strengths and weaknesses are, how you can maximize the strengths and minimize the weaknesses. I can look at what's coming up in future by using the predictive astrology and the tarot. And I'm also an intuitive astrologer and an intuitive tarot reader. So I use the symbols, and because I'm a quadruple earth sign in my chart, by looking at the symbols, that opens a doorway into my intuition, and then I get messages coming through. And I include those in my readings. So if Mars is in Cancer in your 7th, and it says that's good for relationships, but I get the message that it might be, there may be conflict in relationships, then I listen to my guidance. So I always feel that the guidance that you receive is always correct because it comes from the higher self and you download it through your crown chakra and you're channeling information. So if you're interested in having a reading with me, then do visit the website gregoryscott.com and order the reading there. If you like this video, then please hit the subscribe button and share it. It's been a pleasure doing this forecast for you. Have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you for the daily tarot readings, the weekly horoscopes next week. The monthlies, check those out because of Neptune retrograde, remember. And also the yearlies for each sign of the zodiac. Have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon.